Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber. So for today's video, I've been kind of in a little bit of like a reading slump ever since I finished The Ballad of Never After. So I kind of want to do like a reading vlog style until I find a 5-star read. And currently I'm reading The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Penaranda. I think I'm about 30% of the way through this book. I don't think this is going to be a 5-star book for me. I'm enjoying the book. It's just, it feels almost like, it just feels like a lot of popular books that I've read mushed into one. And so I'm enjoying it. I like the characters. I'm just not like sucked into the book. I'm not in love with the book. So I think it's going to be something that ends up being like a 4, maybe 4.5 star. I just don't think it's going to end up being a 5-star. I'm just going to bring you guys along while I try and get out of this reading slump and find another 5-star. Okay, so our first book for this is done. And that was The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Penaranda. I did end up giving this book 3.75 stars. I found myself a lot of the times kind of just picking up the book for the sake of reading the book, not really being interested in it. I had a couple moments where like I would get sucked into the book, but then I just wouldn't feel that anymore. And I feel like a lot of it was just that there were quite a few times where like something would happen and it just reminded me so much of like other books that it kind of took me out of this world, if that makes sense. I felt like for me, Knight really carried the story. He is the morally gray, shadow-wielding anti-hero that is pretty much loved in every story. So I really liked his character. I felt like he really carried the banter. He is definitely what kept me coming back to this. Unfortunately, didn't really meet even up to the 4 stars that I thought I was gonna give it. I felt like at around like the 73% mark, it picked up a lot, but by that point, I had read so much of this book that I wasn't invested in that I just couldn't bring myself to fully really care. I don't think I'm going to really carry on with the series. I do see how like a lot of people would love this. So if you do like From Blood and Ash, especially The Serpent and the Wings of Night, Guild, morally gray men with shadow-wielding powers, I still would recommend reading this book because, like I said, I'm giving it 3.75 stars. That isn't a bad rating by any means, in my opinion. It just wasn't something that's gonna stick with me personally for the long run, which is why I didn't quite get the 4 stars, because I know it's not something that I'm going to think back on. I might think back on like a few things said here and there, but it's never going to be like a deep root in my mind. It's just going to be like fleeting moments. There's also Who Did This to You in here. So anyway, I'm having a hard time picking what exactly I want to read next. I'm thinking about going with Autumn's Tithe. I'm going to read a couple pages of that before I fully decide. I'm torn between that, Manacled, which is the like super popular Hermione fanfic. The thing that keeps me from fully picking that is that I don't know if I should include fanfic in a vlog trying to find a 5-star book. So I don't know if I'm going to, but then the third book that I'm really torn between is also Caraval, because like I've said before, I just miss Jax. And I really want to read a book with him in it. I know that if I remember correctly, he like doesn't show up in the first one. It's like either the second or the third one that he shows up. But I just miss his character so much and that world so much that I kind of want to get back into it, because it's just so long until the next one. I mean, I get it's only like a little over a month, but that's too long for me. So I'm going to start, I think, Autumn's Tithe, and then I'll let you guys know what we end up actually going with. Also, another little random update, but last night at, I don't know, I think it was like 11 o'clock at night, I kind of just got impulsive and I redid 2 of my bookshelves on my bookshelf. So I figured I'd show you guys. On this shelf, I had my black and white books before, but I really wanted to show off Foxglove because I love the way that it looks. And I really was not a fan of the way that I had it down here with the rainbow ones. I just wasn't liking it. So Now we have a couple of these books into showcasing Foxglove, and then of course my Once Upon a Broken Heart because I'm obsessed. One Dark Window, also obsessed. And then we did Shadow and Bone series into Six of Crows duology. And then I apologize for my kids being loud. And then down here I moved the black and white shelf down to here with the little TBR cup. And then I like the cover of Ninth House, so I kind of did like a showcasing with a couple of my other books behind it. And then also up here I also have more of my books to fit in there, and then I can keep fitting them because, you know, we're kind of running out of space. But yeah, so that is the updated bookshelf. Now back to reading. Okay, so little update. Our next book, Autumn's Tithe by Hannah Parker. I'm only 24 pages in, but so far it's pretty good. Our main character is Larkin. There's like the Fae world and then the human world. They have like this choosing ceremony where a Fae lord comes over and like chooses one girl each year, and they're supposed to do like a special task, and if they complete that, then they like live there forever. Even if they don't pick it, nobody really knows what truly happens. It's just like said that the girls do this special task and then they just live there forever. And it's supposed to be them like helping fulfill the like treaty between them. And Larkin, this is like her last year that she has the opportunity to be chosen. Her best friend had gotten picked the year previous and they were like in a fight, and so she wants to get over there. She's hoping that she's chosen just so that she can go see her, but she doesn't end up getting chosen, and the bridges between the worlds only open up for a week once a year, and it's during this choosing ceremony. Only the chosen are supposed to be able to go back. And this is all part of the synopsis, by the way. She decides that she's going to break it and go across that bridge to try and find her friend, see what actually happens to these girls since nobody knows. And then it also says that she ends up finding an ally named Finder, and he's a fairy prince of the Autumn Court. And this just says, underneath the glittering facade of the fairy realm sees a shadowy pact right in blood, betrayal, and lust for power at any cost. A tithe must be paid by each of the courts of Erodian. Both Finder and Larkin's people face retribution if the tithe goes unpaid, and their bond could destroy the foundation of the courts and the human world forever. So I've only gotten to the point the choosing ceremony just got done and she didn't get picked, and now she's like trying to figure out how she's gonna get over there. So that is as far as I've gotten. It's not super far, but I am enjoying it. I do like Hannah Parker's writing. This is the first book I've read by her. I'm assuming this isn't like a super long book. It's only 306 pages. I'm assuming there's gonna be another one. I mean, maybe this is a standalone, but I'm assuming that there's gonna be another one. But anyway, that is all I wanted to give an update, is just that I have decided to pick this book up. We'll see if this has the potential to be the 5-star. Okay, so I wanted to give a little bit of an update. It is a couple days later. It's like 2 days after I started Autumn's Tithe. I am still currently reading this. I have gotten to page 91 on this. It's pretty good so far. I'm enjoying it, but I don't think it will end up being a 5-star. It's good. I shouldn't say that yet. It's just not giving me 5-star energy. I want to read it, but I'm not like itching to read it, you know? It's just kind of there. Like, it's an enjoyable story. It's just not addicting to me. So I did change out my stickers yet again. I have accepted that I have a sticker addiction and swapping it out. I wanted to go for more of like kind of fall-ish vibes, you know? So we have still our little coffee cup, still our books and coffee, but I did just buy a sticker pack off Amazon. I just couldn't find, like, I wanted a pack that had multiple things all focused on reading, but like kind of a bunch of different vibes to it. I didn't want just like a standard like fall. I wanted it to be something where like I could keep changing it out, and I just could not for the life of me find exactly what I wanted off of Etsy. So I still have my Etsy stickers. I wanted to go for like a kind of like Halloween gothic vibe, but there were just some stickers on here that I couldn't get away from. So anyway, that's beside the point. So I put on this little sticker here. It's got like it's like a window with a moon. It's got the plants on it and the books. And then I put this little cat here that's filled in with text. And I kind of made it where it's like looking out the window. I thought that was cute. And then I have this one that has the Galaxy teacup on the top, and it's just got a bunch of like different little books here. It's got, they say, The History of Magic, Intermediate Transfiguration, The Standard Books of Spell, Dark Arts, Herbology 3, and honestly I can't read the top one. It's too small of text. But then I have the tarot card of the TBR. I have this little one that's just like a cute text with like a thing of greenery there, and then this adorable little black cat laying on an open book, and then I already pointed out my Abraxos sticker. So I'm obsessed. I love it. I do. I've only had this a day and I am obsessed with the way it looks, but there's still part of me who just like, there's other cute stickers in there and it's a problem. Anyway. Mainly I picked up my Kindle because I think it was today. It was either yesterday or today. Today's the 19th. So it was either yesterday, I don't know if it was September 18th or today the 19th, that A Study in Drowning came out, and that's by Ava Reed. I love the cover of this and I love the way it looks, but I didn't want to wait for it to come in. I wanted to start it. So I just downloaded it. But I was watching where did I see that at? Oh, I was watching a TikTok. But it's dark academia with like fantasy elements in it. Like gothic themed also. I don't even fully know what it is, but it's on that TikTok, it said something. It's like The Cruel Prince mixed with, hold on. Oh my God, I shouldn't be watching TikToks on this because this girl is looking at her Waterstones edition and it looks so good. Okay, I found it. So it was, if you wanted a book that felt like a cross between The Secret History and The Cruel Prince. I have not read The Secret History, but I have seen so many people talk about it, and she gave it a 5 stars, and so I'm hoping that ends up being this book for me. I actually added this September 16th, and I don't even remember adding that. But anyway, so the normal cover is really pretty. But it says, Effie has always believed in fairy tales. She had no choice. Since childhood, she's been haunted by visions of the Fairy King. She's found solace only in the pages of Angharad.
These names are not my friend.
She's found solace only in the pages of Angharad, author Emery's beloved epic about a mortal girl who falls in love with the Fairy King and then destroys him. Effie's tattered, dog-eared copy is all that's keeping her afloat through her stifling first term at Lear's prestigious architecture college. So when Mirdan's family announces a contest to design the late author's house, Effie feels certain this is her destiny. But Highwraith Manor is an impossible task, a musty, decrepit estate on the brink of crumbling into a hungry sea. And when Effie arrives, she finds she isn't the only one who's made a temporary home there. Preston Hallory, a stodgy young literature scholar, is studying Mirdan's papers and is determined to prove her favorite author is a fraud. As the two rival students investigate the reclusive author's legacy, piecing together clues through his letters, books, and diaries, they discover that the house's foundation isn't the only thing that can't be trusted. There are dark forces, both mortal and magical, conspiring against them, and the truth may bring them both to ruin. It sounds really good. I am super excited to get into that. I am going to mainly try and focus on Autumn's Tithe first. It feels like it's going a little bit faster. I don't know how I really feel about it. I'm enjoying it. I just don't... I have to say that I do enjoy the way that It's like the typical fae have powers. They can like manipulate things to make you see and hear and feel things that aren't really there. So she gets warned about that. I will say that there is like a bond in this story, but I really enjoy the way the bond was wrote because it's not anything that I've read in any other fantasy book so far. It's a very interesting twist on it that I really enjoyed. I don't want to say what it is because if you do want to pick this up, I don't want to spoil that aspect for you. But it's just know that it's not like the typical bonds that you find in other stories, in other fantasy books. Like any other popular fantasy series that is out there, it's not like that. So I do, that part does have me like liking the story more because I don't feel like I'm just repeating most other fantasy books that I read. And so I did really appreciate the way that that was wrote. But yeah, that's like really my only update that I have on this book. Trying to keep that spoiler free. Yeah, we're gonna get back to reading. Okay, so I'm going to try to update this real quick. My kids are being loud, so I apologize. But I just finished Autumn's Tithe by Hannah Parker. I'm going to give this 4.25 stars. I'm getting a little bit more specific with my ratings just because 4.5 just seems a little too high, but 4 just doesn't feel like enough. So I feel like I gotta go and do like a happy medium because I did really enjoy this book. I did not guess the ending at all, so that was a super pleasant surprise. Like I said before, there are quite a few aspects of this book that are not like the typical fantasy that I have read, and so I really enjoyed that. It was a nice kind of like refreshing take on everything. A lot of action towards the end, but I did feel like the beginning was kind of slow. It kind of felt like things were getting like kind of repeated a little bit, which just felt a little unnecessary. It kind of dragged on for me in the beginning, but the ending was super good. I am definitely interested in continuing this. This is a trilogy. Before I had said that I didn't know if this was a standalone. It is a trilogy. It's called the Severed Realms Trilogy. And so the second one is out already. It came out, I believe it was December 9th of last year. The third one is not mentioned on Goodreads yet, so I don't know anything on that release date. I haven't really looked into it yet because I'm not going into the second one yet. That is something that I do want to eventually get to, but for the sake of this video, I want to move on to a book that I kind of have higher hopes of being a 5-star read for me. And so, with that being said, we're going to move into Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I did a little Instagram poll. I had 3 options on there, and my options were Powerless by Lauren Roberts, Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and then also A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. It has only been up for 6 hours, but so far, Powerless has 2 votes, Divine Rivals has 18 votes, and A Study in Drowning has 4. I don't expect that to really change, if we're being honest. I figured Divine Rivals would win, but I had put, what do I read next, looking for a 5-star read. I see Divine Rivals so often and so many people love it that I wasn't surprised at that one. That being said, since I did finish Autumn's Tithe, I'm going to move into Divine Rivals now. I'm super excited. I've been wanting to read this book for so long. So I'm excited to finally get into it. We're going to start this. I'll give you guys an update. Probably closer to like the 50% mark. But yeah, let's get to reading. Or just read the synopsis. When 2 young rival journalists find love through a magical connection, they must face the depths of hell in a war among gods to seal their fate forever. After centuries of sleep, the gods are warring again, but 18-year-old Iris Winnow just wants to hold her family together. Her mother is suffering from addiction and her brother is missing from the front lines. Her best bet is to win the columnist promotion at the Oath Gazette. To combat her worries, Iris writes letters to her brother and slips them beneath her wardrobe door, where they vanish into the hands of Roman Kit, her cold and handsome rival at the paper. When he anonymously writes Iris back, the two of them forge a connection that will follow Iris all the way to the front lines of battle for her brother, the fate of mankind, and love. Okay, so I finally, let me turn this back on. I finally hit the 50% mark on Divine Rivals. I'm on page 185, which is chapter 26. I think this might be my 5-star book. I wasn't really sure at first. Like, I'd say probably the first 25% of the book. I liked it, but I didn't think that it was going to be a 5-star book. It kind of took me a little bit to get in, but I also think that was from my reading slump I've been in. This is getting me out of my reading slump, and every time I'm not reading this book, I am looking forward to getting back to this book. I'm obsessed. And what just happened? Obsessed. I love this book. I have a very strong feeling this is going to be my 5-star book. And I just had to come on here and give that update of I finally hit 50% and I love it. I understand. I'm sad that I waited this long to get to this book. But it's so good. If you have not picked this up, I highly recommend getting it. Also, this isn't really what I expected this book to be. The way, so I don't remember if I gave the description, but it's the main character, they're in the middle of this war and her brother goes off to war and she is writing him letters and they keep disappearing and she doesn't know what's happening to them. She had been writing him and he had not been contacting her back, and then all of a sudden one night she gets a letter back, but it's not from her brother. And so they kind of begin this pen pal thing and she doesn't really know who it is. But the way that these letters are going back and forth between them, I really didn't expect that to be what it was, but honestly, I thought it was really cute and I like the backstory on that a lot. I'm gonna get back to reading because I really want to see where this one goes. Okay, so I am now 74% of the way through this book. This book has me just giggling and kicking my feet at this point. I don't even know what to say. I don't want to give away any spoilers, so I won't, but it's so cute. It is so cute. It is definitely, I don't think I've ever read another fantasy book like this. I love the setting. I love the plot of this book. I love the romance of this book. I love both the main characters. Their chemistry is perfect. The way that he signs his letters to her at this point in the book, cutest thing ever. I can't. I have so many highlights in this book. That's it. That's all I had to say. So we'll go ahead and read for a little bit. I have to leave here in 30 minutes, but... I cannot with this book. It's so cute. It's so cute. I can't. I just want to sit here and binge the rest of this book. I don't want to have any responsibilities today. I know I said this in probably the last clip that you watched, but please pick this book up if you have not read it. It's so good. It's so good. I will say the beginning was a little bit slow for me. Again, that could just be from me being in a reading slump, but this book got me out of my reading slump, and when I finish it, it's gonna put me right back in my reading slump. Worth it. It is so worth it. It's so good. Lucky for me, A Curse for True Love comes out this month. So I may be in a reading slump after this book, but it won't be for long. I shouldn't say this month because it's still September for like, what is today? Today's Wednesday. For 3 more days, it's September. Off to responsibilities. I will check back in later tonight. Hopefully I'm done with this book. My goal is to finish this book today. My goal yesterday was to get from, I think I was at 45% when I started in the day. My goal was to get to 70%, and I did in fact do that. So I'm hoping that with being at, what am I at? I'm at 77%. I'm on page 281. I think I can manage to do that. Okay, I'm on the last 2 chapters. I'm on chapter 41, page 325, and I wanted to record me reading these last 2 chapters because what just happened has me on edge. So, let's get into reading these last 2 chapters. No. You see, no, because... No. What I just read, I have a feeling... I have 2 minutes left in this chapter. It's the last chapter. I think there might be an epilogue. What was just said has me thinking on how this book is about to end. And if it goes... If it goes the way that I think it's about to go, I'm gonna cry, for 1. For 2, I need the next book immediately. If that is how this is gonna end, I'm gonna lose it. Please. Please let me be wrong. Okay, I'm gonna finish this because I need to be wrong. Stop it. Stop. It ended how I thought it would. I need the when does the next book come out? Stop it. It doesn't come out until December 26th. Are you kidding me? What do I do with myself until December 26th? Now, when I say this book ended how I thought it would, it didn't end exactly how I thought it would because it doesn't go into detail about exactly what happened. But the beginning of my thoughts is right. It just doesn't describe exactly, but I have a feeling I know exactly where that's gonna go. That was definitely my 5-star read. I don't want to pick up another book. I don't want to look at another book. I don't want to think about another book. Am I being a little bit dramatic on this? Probably. Does it change anything that I just said? No. Our 5-star read is Divine Rivals for this video. I can't even come up with coherent thoughts. That is all I have for you for this video. I am both very happy that I finally found a 5-star read after the long reading slump that I was in, but I'm also sad because now I'm back in my reading slump, so that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you made it this far, please leave a thumbs up. It helps my videos tremendously, and if you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all my future videos, and I hope to see you in the next one.